everyone, happy Thursday. I hope you are having a great week. Right, I said I would send this video yesterday, true to form, it is today. It's taken me a bit longer to organise than I thought, but there is a new feature in our app that has been around for the last month or so. You may have noticed it, but if you haven't, then we are going to talk about it today and we're going to start using it. I'm very, very excited for this. And I really want you all to engage. So if you look at your app and you use your app to its fullest capability, there's an awful lot that you can do within it to track everything that you're doing. You don't need all these other fitness apps to go with it. You can just use Trainerize now. And it's good to keep it all in one place, really going to help you and push you forward. So if there's one goal that you need to have for this month now, it is to sync everything into that Trainerize app if you can. Now, I just tried to sync my Apple Watch with mine, but I realized that my phone isn't updated, so I've got to quickly update my phone in order for some of the stats to come through. But we are going to use the meal tracking app. Now, many of you, if you look at the notifications, will have seen that a notification popped up last night. I went through everybody's individual account and I put in for you the right amount of calories that you need per day. And then I apportion the macros to that. So how much protein, how much carbohydrate, and how much fat you need. What I've done there is I've worked out your basal metabolic rate, so the basic amount of calories that you need based on your current weight and height. So if it's wrong in the app, you need to change it ASAP and let me know. But hopefully it's all up to date. And it works out a number based on those to give me your basal metabolic rate. And then I multiply that by an activity factor. And that's how I get to the number of calories that I've written that you need to consume per day. Now, if you do less exercise on a certain day, you could probably afford to eat a little bit less. If you do more exercise on a certain day, you can probably afford to eat a little bit more to stay the same. If you want to lose a bit of weight, send me a message and I'll adjust that for you. So those numbers are based on you staying the weight that you should be, okay? Or the weight that you are now. If you are at a good weight, you should be at that weight, that's where you'll stay. But what I want you to do is I want you to change your body composition. So what we're going to try and do over the next few weeks of January, and hopefully you'll stay with me through to February and March and beyond if you can. But think of it as the next 6 weeks. If we go through the next 6 weeks, we're going towards the end of February, and that is a good amount of time for you to focus on this. Now, you're going to need to put in a little bit of work, but hopefully the app will work in your favor and make it easy as you go along. You are going to start logging your meals, and within each meal that you log, it will track your macros for you. It's going to tell you the number of macros you're having in the things that you're having, and then it's going to count down to tell you how many more you need, if you need to top up on more protein and so on. What I've been finding is most of us are eating enough carbohydrate to keep our energy levels up. We're eating a little bit too much fat and we're not eating enough protein, and I want to shift that balance. And if we do that and we do it consistently over a good period of time, you will get a shift in your body composition. So let's take a look at the app. This is your home screen. I've got it on my iPad, and on your home screen you have your things to do today, and at the top there you can see that I've added 4 meals. It might be back to front for you, but you get the gist. Up the top here, 4 meals I've added so far today. You can take pictures of your food. You can scan the barcode of your food and it will guess and tell you, and you can decide whether that's right or not. You can add in custom bits of food. So for example, today, bearing in mind this is an American app, I went to put in cheese. It didn't have the one I wanted, so I just used the label from my cheese and added it. It took me 2 seconds. And then you just add it on there. So it's really easy to do. I'll show you how to do it in a second. Then at the bottom here, you've got, if you just look at your homepage, you can look at it now while I'm talking. You've got steps, sleep, body weight, body fat, photos, calorie intake, resting heart rate, blood pressure, lean body mass, and calorie burn. Now, the reason I want to attach my Apple Watch to this is because I wear it all the time, and it will take into account the calorie burn from the Apple Watch stats or from your Apple health statistics, and it will also take in the steps. At the moment, that's not working for me because I haven't set it up. The sleep I've just added. I'll show you how in a minute. Body weight I've obviously added. I've not done my photos yet, but I will. The calorie intake is coming from the food I've I've logged up here. So can you see over on the corner here, we've got a plus key and we've got a picture. When you go to the picture, that takes you to any messages I've sent you. So there are the messages from me so far. I'm just going to click out of that. And then if we press this blue plus key at the bottom here, then I get this list of things that I can add. You can add a workout, an activity, and then the next one down, can you see the knife and fork? You can add a meal. I'll come back to that. I just want to show you the sleep first. So then you've got photos, which is adding the photos for your, so you can see your body shape and size and so on. Body stats, that's adding your measurements, and then sleep. So if I click on the sleep here, you can put in a bedtime. If you look at yours, can you see that very well? Over on this side, it says bedtime and then wake up time. And all you do is you go in every day and you put the time you went to bed and the time that you woke up. You could do the time you go to bed at night, and you can do the time you wake up the next day. It's very straightforward. You'll see you just add the date and then you just scroll through and add the time. The reason I want you to do that is because it graphs it for you. So you can look back and you can then have a nice tally and you can see what your sleep patterns are like and how. It's not going to tell you the quality of your sleep, but to be honest, I'm not worried about that at the moment. I want to know when you go to bed and when you wake up again, okay? And I want to know how long you're in that place for, okay? And that will give us a graph of that over the next 6 weeks or however long you stay with it. And then if we go back to the plus key, I'll show you how to add the food. So if we go to meal here and add our knife and fork, the first thing it's going to ask me to do is take a photo. Now, if you are just about to eat it, you've made it, then take a photo. This morning, I took a picture of my bread, my jam, my butter, and my coffee. It wasn't made, it was just ready to be made, but I took a picture of it so that I could see. But you can skip the photo and then you can go straight into this bit. Now these things here are a list of things I've already added, so you might just be able to pick out that says water, almonds, jam, wholemeal toast. I make my own bread, that's homemade. And then lunch, I've had a spicy bean soup and some cheese on top. And then you just press the plus key to add those. And then if I go to review, then you can see what you've added. You've got breakfast, you've got lunch, you've got dinner. If I click out of that, and just go into my 4 meals added and show you, this is the breakdown of the meals I've had. So breakfast, I've added a time. Can you see that? I've added a time to it. It's calculated my calories for me. It's listed down what I've had here. And then the picture of it. Oh, the picture's gone. But that's because I had to redo it because I did it wrong this morning. But down here you can see I've had a snack and you can see the picture of the almonds that I've had there. And it calculates if it recognises it, it calculates the macros for you. And then I've got my lunch there, and then another snack here is just where I've added my water. That's the only thing, there's no water addition, so you have to add water as a snack. But then if you can see all of that there. If we go to the details tab, it then tells me how on track I am for my calories. So I've got 1,213 calories remaining. That's not quite right. My calorie level's a bit higher on this. I need to change it. And then how much protein I've got remaining, how many carbs, and how much fat I can eat. And then this lovely little circle here gives it in a nice colourful format. So you can see already that the way I've been eating today, this one at the top is carbohydrate, this one here is fat, and this one here is protein. So I'm a bit out of kilter because I actually want my fat to be lower. I want my fat to be the size of the protein and my protein to be the size of the fat. So I need to adjust for the rest of the day. I need to make sure they get more protein in what I'm eating and less fat, which will probably happen because of what I know I've got for my dinner. And then you get the breakdown of it here, other nutrients if you've added, or it comes with what you've added. And then eventually, the more you do it, the more you'll be able to see these graphs. So this is your total macro count, and then individual macros and calories and so on. So what I want you to do is I want you to get into starting using that. So add your sleep and add your food, your meals to this app so that I can see it. If you are used to using MyFitnessPal, this is easier and much more intuitive. The other thing you can do when you get into it, so if you click the 3 dots on the corner here, you can say copy from yesterday, copy from another day, or copy to another day. So if you're a creature of habit, you can copy the things that you've had. So if every Monday you have a chicken stir fry, then last Monday's one can be put on next Monday's one, and you're ahead and you don't have to keep typing it out. So you've got to put the work in to start with, but once you've done it and once you get used to it, and you've added a little bank of stuff, and most of us eat similar things week in, week out, month in, month out, you can just quickly re-add what you had before. So my breakfast I had yesterday, I logged, and I just re-logged it again today. It was exactly the same. So it does become a little bit easier as time goes on. And what will happen as you get used to where the macros are, where the macros are coming from, how you can get more protein, how you can decrease your fat and so on, you'll start to get that balance, 50% carbohydrates, 30% protein, 20% fat. I've set that across the board for all of us. Any problems, just give me a shout. But that's what I want us all to be trying to achieve in the next couple of weeks of January. It's our building blocks. It's our getting used to it. It's our preparation time so that when we hit February, we can really be going for it. And you'll notice the habits are sinking in and setting, and you will get the results that you're looking for, not only in body composition and decreasing body fat, increasing muscle tissue, because we're doing the strength training as well. This is going to go really well with it, that you will just feel energized, and you'll be surprised at how much food you can have if you keep it whole foods, single ingredients, higher in protein, higher in fiber, etc. Just one last thing with the fiber. When you're eating carbohydrate, if it has a high fiber content, like my beans did today, then you can I've got people coming in the door. If you have a high fiber content in a product, so I had a bean soup at lunchtime, the high fiber, the carbohydrate level was something like 30, but because there was 8 grams of fiber in it, you take that away. So you take your carbohydrate level and then you minus off the fiber and you put that in as your carbohydrate level. So basically the fiber gives you a bit of free carbohydrate. So the higher fiber foods you have, the better. And also remember, the more you're eating of your carbohydrates that are high in fiber, the fruits, the vegetables, the beans, the pulses, you need to make sure you drink lots of water to help that digestion. If you've got any questions or you get stuck, then that's what I'm here for. Give me a shout, let me know. But I really want to see lots of you, all of you, adding your meals to the app from tomorrow. So go in, have a little play around with it, get used to it, start adding stuff, make sure everything's up to date, make sure your weight and your height are correct within the app. If they aren't, give me a shout, and try and link your phones, your watches, whatever you've got that log your steps and so on, so we get a really good overall picture and you can look at it and you can see where you're at with your calorie burn, your calorie expenditure and your calorie intake and those macros levels. Okay, I hope that helps. I hope that you can get cracking with that as soon as possible. I hope you enjoy it. Any issues, just give me a shout and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.